In this video, we're going to learn how to set up Prometheus and Grafana on an Azure Kubernetes Service or AKS cluster. Now, first things first, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get the kube config from AKS. So I'm going to run az AKS get credentials. I'm going to specify the name of my AKS cluster. Then I'm going to specify the resource group name. All right, I'm going to override that. And what I just want to show here really quick is kubectl get pods namespace kube system. Now notice here how I have a metric server. Not all Kubernetes clusters are going to have that by default. For example, if you're running in kubeadm on a local host or in a server center somewhere, whatever the case may be, if you're running kubeadm, it's not going to come up by default. On EKS and AWS, it actually doesn't come on by default. In the next video, we're going to learn how to set all that up. But point being, wherever you're deploying Prometheus and Grafana, make sure that the metric server endpoint is running and it's running as a pod. Well, as a deployment rather, but 2 pods running. So now let's go ahead and use Helm to bring down the Prometheus community chart. As you can see, I already have it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run an update just to make sure it is up to date and good to go. All right, next I'm actually going to install the Prometheus and Grafana chart. So you can see here that I'm pulling from the Prometheus community stack, and then I'm creating a namespace called monitoring. So let's go ahead and run that. All right, and as you can see, it's deployed and good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run kubectl get all namespace monitoring. And we can see there's a ton of stuff that's deployed here. All of the services for Grafana and Prometheus, the pods, deployments, stateful sets, etc. All right, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to access the Prometheus environment and the Grafana environment. Now to do that, I'm just going to do a port forward on the service. So for Grafana, it's going to be the Prometheus Grafana service over port 80. I'll go ahead and I'll run that. Oop, actually we're going to have to wait a second until this is fully up and running for us. All right, and that took about a few minutes there, and now it's up and running. Next, I'm going to do the same thing, but for Prometheus. So I'm going to port forward on the Prometheus service, and we'll go ahead and we'll wait for that to come up. All right, and now that is up and running, you'll just have to give it probably like 30 seconds or so. So now let's head over to a web browser really quick, and we're going to go to Prometheus, and then we're going to go to Grafana. And to get there, it's just going to be on your local host over the specified ports. Okay, so I'm in Prometheus here, and if I go to status, targets, we can see that it is collecting all of the information for our kubelet, for our metrics, all that good stuff. So we're good here. Now, if I go to Grafana, the default username is admin, and then the default password is prom, P-R-O-M hyphen operator. All right, and if I go ahead and if I zoom in a bit here, and I go to the dashboard, I can see all of the general information here around the dashboards that are set up by default for us. So if we do something like, for example, go to the compute resources for pods, and then if I go to the kube system namespace, we can see our pods running. So now we can see that Prometheus and Grafana are good to go. Prometheus is collecting the metrics, and Grafana is showcasing it to us. And that's how you can set up Prometheus and Grafana. Thank you so much for watching.